Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Slow English Stories. Today, we will improve your English by listening to a heart-touching story. This story is about a poor girl named Amaya who finds a very expensive diamond ring on the street. In a few hours, something unexpected happens, and her life begins to change in a new direction. I will read the story one sentence at a time. Pause the video after each sentence and repeat after me. This simple technique will help you speak more naturally and confidently in English. Don't worry about mistakes. Just listen and repeat. Are you ready to begin? Let's start the story. Part 1. The Discovery. My name is Amaya Miller, and this is the story about how a diamond ring changed my life forever and taught me what real love means. I am a poor girl living on the cold, gray streets of the city. Every morning I wake up on a hard cardboard box and wonder if I will find enough bread to survive the day. Some days I have no food to eat at all, and the hunger feels like a heavy, sharp weight in my stomach. I have no family to hold me when I'm sad, and I have no friends to talk to when the nights are long and lonely. Life is very hard for me, and sometimes I feel like the world is a giant machine that has forgotten I exist. But one day, everything changes in a way I never could have imagined in my wildest dreams. I am walking slowly down the busy main street, keeping my head down and looking at the ground for lost coins or discarded food. Suddenly, a young man in a great hurry runs past me, nearly knocking me over into the gutter. His name is James Anderson. He looks very busy and stressed, staring at his gold watch and rushing toward the tall glass buildings of the business district. He does not see me at all. To him, I am just a shadow on the sidewalk, a person with no name. As he runs, something falls from his expensive jacket pocket and bounces on the hard concrete with a soft thud. It is a small velvet box, the color of a deep red rose. I pick it up quickly, my heart beating fast. My hands tremble as I slowly open the box. Inside is a beautiful diamond ring that catches the sunlight and sparkles like a fallen star. It looks incredibly expensive. It represents more money than I have seen in my entire life. Part 2. The Decision. I sit on the ground for a long time and think about what to do with this treasure. This ring can change my life forever. It is a ticket to a new world. I can sell it at a pawn shop and buy enough hot food to fill my stomach for a year. I can finally find a warm, safe place to live and leave the dangerous streets behind me. But then I look at the empty street where the man disappeared into the crowd. I realize that this ring is not mine, and I did not earn it. Somewhere, someone is crying or feeling panicked because they lost this precious object. I make a difficult decision that most people would think is crazy. I stand up and run after the young man as fast as my weak legs can carry me. Many people are walking on the street, pushing and pulling each other, and I cannot find him in the sea of faces. But I remember one specific detail. He wears a bright blue jacket. I stop and ask several people, "Have you seen a man in a blue jacket running this way?" Nobody sees him, or perhaps they just don't want to talk to a girl like me. Everyone is too busy with their own important lives. I walk forward for 10 minutes, my heart racing against my ribs. Then I see him. He is sitting on a wooden bench near a large, imposing bank. He is not running anymore. Instead, he looks completely defeated and very sad, with his head buried in his hands. I approach him slowly and nervously. I say, "Excuse me, sir, I think this belongs to you." He looks up at the ring, but his face does not show any relief or happiness. Instead, his eyes fill with pain and his face becomes angry and bitter. He says, "I do not want it. You can do anything with it. Throw it in the trash for all I care." I am shocked by his words. I say, "But sir, this is a very expensive ring. I am a poor girl, but I cannot take something so valuable from you." He sighs deeply and says, "If you do not want it, then just throw it away. I do not need it anymore. I bought this ring for my girlfriend, Sarah Mitchell. I saved my money for a long time because I thought today would be the happiest day of my life." I ask him softly, "Then why do you throw it? Why not give it to her?" He looks at me with tears in his eyes. "I proposed to her today, but she rejected me in front of many people. She laughed in my face. You do not understand how it feels to be rejected by the person you love." I look at him, seeing his expensive clothes and his broken heart, and I say quietly, "Yes, I understand." He looks at me confused, looking at my messy hair and worn-out coat. I continue, "People reject me 100 times every single day. When I ask for a small piece of food, they look away. When I ask for a simple job, they shut the door in my face. I know exactly what it feels like to be unwanted and invisible." James becomes very quiet and still. He looks at my dirty, broken shoes and my thin, ragged coat. He says, "I'm sorry, Amaya. I was so wrapped up in my own sadness that I did not think about yours. I'm just very hurt right now." I take his hand and put the ring firmly back in his palm. I say, "I get rejected many times, but I still fight for my life every single morning. If a girl with nothing can keep fighting, why can't a man like you fight for your future?" I start to walk away, feeling proud of my choice, but he stands up quickly. He asks, "Wait, you haven't eaten today, have you? Please, can I buy you lunch?" He takes me to a restaurant nearby that looks like a palace. The restaurant is very beautiful, with white silk tablecloths and sparkling crystal glasses. I have never stepped inside such a nice place in my life. Everything smells like rich garlic, creamy butter, and fresh bread. Rich people sit at the tables, talking about money and vacations. They wear expensive silk clothes and gold watches that shine. I wear my dirty, old clothes, and I feel very small and out of place. People look at me in a strange, judgmental way, whispering to each other. But James does not care about them at all. He pulls out a heavy chair for me and smiles. He asks, "What do you want to eat? Order anything you like, no matter the price." I look at the menu and say, "Anything is fine. I have not tasted real hot food today." He orders a large, wonderful meal with roasted chicken, fresh vegetables, and warm soup. When the food arrives, the taste is amazing, like a dream on a plate. I eat very fast because my body is so hungry for nutrients. James reaches across the table. He says, "Wait, you have a little food on your face." He gently wipes my mouth with a soft tissue. Our eyes meet for a long, silent moment. My heart beats fast, and for the first time in many years, I feel something special, a spark of hope. He says, "You can take some food home in a box if you want." I whisper, "Really? Thank you." He adds, "I can also give you some money and buy you better clothes. You shouldn't have to live on the cold street like this." My heart stops for a second. He is the first person who has looked at me like a human being instead of a problem to be avoided. I want to hug him, but I am scared of my own strong feelings. I say, James, you are a very kind person. I cannot thank you enough for seeing me. He smiles sadly. You made my sadness go away for an hour, Amaya. That is worth more than the diamond ring. I ask him, why did your girlfriend reject you? You seem so wonderful and generous. He explains, we were happy for a while, but then she met someone with much more money. That person is my boss in the investment firm. She wants a life of luxury and fame that I cannot give him yet. I feel a wave of anger for him. I ask, but can money really change love? He nods his head. I have no family and no high status. She told me she is going to dinner with my boss tonight at the Golden Table restaurant to celebrate her new life. I look at my hands, thinking quickly. I want to help him. I say, I have an idea. Let us show her that you are not alone and that you are happy without her. Part 5, The Transformation. James takes me to a store and buys me a beautiful dress. It is the color of the midnight sky with tiny silver sparkles. I get ready in a private room and walk out to meet him. James is waiting outside the restaurant, looking very handsome. When he sees me, he looks completely surprised and his jaw drops. I ask, why do you look at me like that? Do I look bad in this color? He shakes his head slowly. I cannot believe you are the same person I met this morning. You look very beautiful, Amaya. You look like a princess. His words touch my heart deeply. We go inside the Golden Table. Sarah is there, sitting with the boss at a central table. When she sees James with a beautiful woman on his arm, her face changes from a smug smile to a deep frown. She walks over to our table, her heels clicking on the floor. Sarah asks, Hi, James. What a surprise to see you here. Who is this girl? James smiles naturally and looks at me with warmth. This is Amaya, my new girlfriend. She is the most honest person I know. I hold James's hand tight to support him. Sarah looks furious and jealous. I look at James and ask, Do you want to dance with me? As we dance among the rich couples, we laugh and talk about our lives. I cannot take my eyes off his face, and I realize I am no longer acting a part. James asks me suddenly, Amaya, what do you really think about me? I answer, I think you are a good person with a big heart. He shakes his head. No, do you feel something different tonight? Because I feel something I have never felt before. Before I can answer his question, Sarah interrupts us again. She tells James she needs to talk to him alone in the hallway. They walk to the corner. My heart feels very sad and heavy. I think, this was just a beautiful dream. We are too different. He will go back to her because she is rich and I am a beggar. I decide to leave the restaurant quietly before my heart breaks. But as I reach the glass door, James's boss stops me. He looks at me with greed and a cold smile. He says, Come with me instead. I can give you more money than James ever could. You are too pretty for a man like him. I tell him to stay away from me, but he grabs my arm very tight. Suddenly, James appears out of nowhere and pushes the boss away with great strength. I don't care about your job or your money, James tells his boss. I found something much more valuable than a salary today. The boss and Sarah leave the restaurant in a quiet rage. James turns to me, breathing hard. Amaya, I don't want the ring for her, and I don't want Sarah back. In the short time I spent with you today, I fell in love with your honest heart. He takes out the small velvet box and the diamond ring. You said this didn't belong to you this morning, but now I know it belongs to you and only you. Will you marry me? Tears of pure joy come to my eyes. I say, yes, 1,000 times, yes. Now I finally understand the truth. A diamond ring brought us together on a busy street, but it was love that changed our lives forever. Real love does not need a large bank account or a fancy name. It only needs an honest heart and a soul that sees the truth.